Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram 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 Om. We are deeply grateful to Papa, our spiritual preceptor, for prompting us to take up this in-depth study of In Quest of God. And then he has been guiding us to unearth, to know, to realize many of the dimensions which have never been stuck to us. Before coming to that, first what we have to, all of us should do according to us, it can change from person to person, that the fact that he could scale in 2 years, 1920, Ram decided to kindle, according to his own words. It was about 2 years ago in 1920 that Ram first kindled in the heart of his humble slave Ramdas a keen desire to realize his infinite love. And on 27th December 1922, He was well established, and then only Ram pushed him or motivated him to take the final plunge in 2 years. As stated by us 2-3 days back, we have been associating ourselves with Papa's thoughts, Ramnam, faith in Papa, periodical visits to ashram. What is happening to us? 30, 40 years, or 50 years, we must have been associating. So this in-depth study enables us to diagnose the causes for our lack of progress. It is not to puncture our efficiency or enthusiasm to move forward. It is only to take corrective steps so that we will be able to hasten our spiritual journey. Probably this diagnosis will definitely help us. The areas of improvement. So today we will try to concentrate. There might be about 8 or 10 reasons. We can't say put it in a chronological order because everything is relevant. So whatever that strikes to us, we can put one by one, and then later on, if we are interested, if he prompts us from within, we can put it on priority basis. So we are looking at ourselves. We started coming to this ashram. We find the calmness, the serenity, the love poured on us by Puja Mataji, all Puja Swamiji, everyone in the ashram. So we started coming here. We started enjoying Ramnam. We started enjoying the Arati. We stay for a few days, then we go back. The charming figure of Papa, the blissful face of Papa is always stamped on our heart. So our devotion to Papa, what can we say, something more than devotion, to Papa was increasing every time when we come and go. But still, what happened to me? We are asking ourselves. When we started coming, Puja Mataji was there to guide us. She was also a source of inspiration to all of us. Her exemplary life and mission has always been something which we relish to think. And we were hearing through Mataji that she always refers to Papa, the word Papa, Papa, Papa. This is also Papa, that is also Papa. Have you given to this Papa? Have you talked about Papa? Have you thought about Papa? Have you thought about becoming one with Papa? All these words she used, we never understand, no? Because to us, Papa was this form. This could be one of the reasons. So one reason for not taking Ram seriously, it could be due to Puja Mataji was always referring to Papa instead of Ram, as mentioned by Virupa. Papa always uses the word Ram. So in order that we would have concentrated on Ram, but we heard only the word Papa. So we tried to go a little deeper. Why Mataji started calling Papa? So here is the dialogue. One day, Puja Mataji, I told Papa all about this and began to weep as well, that the mind is going here and there. No, I am unable to control my mind. At this, Papa remarked, what is there to worry or weep now? To wander is the very nature of the mind. Let it roam about wherever it lies, but consider all that as Ram himself. Pray incessantly to Ram to reveal himself in your heart. Ram is eternal, Ram is infinite, all beings and things evolve from Ram, revolve in Ram, dissolve in Ram. So wherever the mind goes, you will find Ram alone, as everything is Ram, and will thus be tired and quieted. Also consider the service that you do to anybody as Ram's service and worship of Ram. This practice will easily enable you to realize your oneness with the universal being Ram. This is what Papa said. At this, I asked Papa if I could use the word Papa in its absolute sense, meaning eternal being, instead of the word Ram, as thereby I felt my nearness to God much more than otherwise. Papa replied, yes, by all means, if it that suited. On another occasion, Mataji again clarifies this stand. Whenever I thought of God as Ram, I felt God was away from me. But when I thought of God as Papa, I felt his nearness. So I went and told Papa accordingly. Then Papa told me, if you can't think of him as Ram, dwell on him as Papa. Ramdas and Ram are not different from each other. Papa told me to let my mind wander wherever it wanted, but to associate everything to it. It went to with Papa, telling myself, this is Papa, that is Papa, this is Papa, that is Papa. I began tutoring my mind in this fashion, and gradually my mind became still. This is a very, very important point, because Mataji was aware of the Nirguna Nirakara aspect of Ram, and she could just replace, cut and replace, what do you call it? Replace the word Papa in the place of Ram. So what we have been hearing, what we have been trying to understand through IQG in-depth study, we have only heard the word Ram, 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 Ram. But none of us developed a serious thought, none of us gave a serious thought to what exactly this Ram stands for. Because whenever we come to ashram, we only hear Papa. Even today, Papa's blessings, we will say. Whenever we are in trouble, we will say, we seek Papa's blessings. Because that has been the custom. Papa did that, Papa told me that. People used to say that, So one reason could be our lack of clarity on the word Ram and Papa. Please think about it. Even today, when we write Papa's blessings, we say the love offering is accepted with joy for the divine service of beloved Papa. This is the word we use. We pray for beloved Papa's blessings on you for a peaceful life. That has been the system, and we have been following, But none of us have applied our mind that Papa means not only this form, because this form has a beginning and an end, but he is the Nirguna Nirakara Tattva. That could be one of the reasons. Another reason, because of this, we have not applied our mind on the word Ram. To be very frank or blunt, many of us, when we started reading IQG, we would have started from chapter number 1 only. Before chapter number 1, Papa has elaborately discussed about Ram, what Ram stands for. And we never asked who is this Ram, no? We have some hazy idea. So that means what? Papa had clear-cut idea about when he makes a mention about Ram. At the same time, we did not apply our mind seriously. So this in-depth study has been interesting. That's why he caused us to take up this as an in-depth study. Third reason could be that we started our journey from where Papa stopped, not from where Papa started. In the sense, he did so many disciplines, in these 2 years. And also when Ram pushed him, how he was able to actualize, see for himself that they are not mere theories, but Ram is there in every form. And Ram's will alone prevails. So we did not attempt. So where he stopped, we saw the wonderful figure, charming figure at the shrine. And the mind, we hardly look at the photo inside the shrine of Papa in Kadri. That only will remind us about the various disciplines he imposed on himself, or Ram imposed on himself. Fourth reason could be that while Papa was blessed with the exclusiveness for realizing Ram, we think about God along with all other preoccupations and downpulling forces. All those are given priorities. And then whenever time permits, we also do this. But in his case, it was exclusive. Another reason could be that though we were enthusiastically chanting Ram Nam, it was not connected to Ram at all. Even after we read Papa's words, that the sense, the moment he said, you are chanting the name of one who is seated within you, who is making you to chant. So every time when he was chanting, he was connecting. Ours was not connecting. Why? Not that we don't want to. We want to, but we are not clear. Every time when we repeat Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, 3 times we repeat the word Ram in our Ram Nam chanting. But that Ram Nam chanting, the Ram, it was not getting connected to the Ram. Another reason. Though we read that His will alone prevails, the surrender aspect has never been in our life. That means whatever happens in our life, we don't accept it cheerfully as God's will. And even while we do Ram Nam, Swadhyaya, etc., it was intended only to solve our personal problems, family problems, mundane problems, to improve our standard of living. initially okay, even later on, years and years of chanting, it has not made us to think about the transient nature of the world, and the purpose of chanting Ramnam is to connect myself to the eternal nature, not the transient nature. Though, because we did not honestly accept that this is transient. That is why the problems when it comes, we want to solve it from our personal level. So we make use of Ramnam for that purpose. Initially that was necessary, no doubt, to have faith, but later on we should be able to transcend it and try to know how to, why am I chanting Ramnam? Another reason would be that though we have been hearing, the second chapter itself he says, the me and mine is the hurdle, and remove the I-ness from me. We have not given any importance for the removal of I-ness or reduce the dominance of me and mine in our life. Even in ashram. And another way, most important, he has mentioned in the IQG the importance of meditation on Ram. First chapter also, yes, and the last one is also the yes. The first chapter you will find, when he knew that the prayer was heard, he said, thenceforward a part of the time that was formerly totally devoted to worldly affairs was taken up for the meditation of Ram, who for that period gave him real peace and relief. And in the last 37th chapter, he says, now Ramdas stays by Ram's command in a cave called Panchapandava cave on the Kadri hill and lives there a serene life, devoting his whole time in talking about, writing of, meditating on that all-loving, glorious Ram. We chanted, that's all. That aspect, meditative chanting aspect, has never struck to us. Though we have many a time gone through the vows he has taken at the time of in Srirangam. The first one says this life will be henceforth consecrated to the meditation and service of Ram. Then also we did not apply our mind. What is this meditation? So along with that, we also join in some programs and then carry on. Nothing affects us. Even, not only Ramnam, even the prayer Mataji has fixed. Even probably the Guru Stuti. The first sloga we all repeat every day here, Brahmanandam Paramasukhatam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dandvaditam Gaganasadrisham Tattvamasyadiraksham Ekam Nityam Vimalam Achalam Sarvadhi Sakshibhudam Bhavaditam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. That is the first one, Appo thane Guru Stuti ആരംഭിക്കും இல்லையா? അഖണ്ഡ മണ്ഡലാകാരം. അത് ഇതും വെറുതില്ല. അഖണ്ഡമണ്ഡലാകാരം വ്യാപ്തം യേന ചരാചരം ത്വത്പദം ദർശിതം യേന തസ്മൈ ശ്രീ ഗുരവേ നമഃ. So when Mataji introduced all these programs, first we will do it as a parrot-like, okay. Later on, slowly we will start thinking. We did not do that. Where are you going? I am going for Guru Siddhi. Religiously, we go through the whole thing. So they are in Kannada. Those who are not well versed in Kannada, they cannot understand also. But as a part of our routine, we conduct that Guru Siddhi. And then similarly is the case with our Arati time. Similarly is the case with our prayer time. As we repeatedly say, certain words, we don't give importance at all. O Lord of the universe, O Creator, Protector, Destroyer of the world, I come in all humility to thy holy feet and surrender myself entirely to thee. Deign to bless me ever with thy remembrance. Every word, have we applied our mind? And then we go to the Arati section, where after the Arati, the Pradakshina comes. Because it is in Marathi, many of us may not know the meaning. Initially, okay, it is nice to hear. There is an order, there is a discipline, there is a rhythm, there is a beautiful tune, it adds something to our spiritual fervor. But later on we should know, why those mantras are there, why those lines are there. And we try to realize that Mataji also wants us to equally respect all this Aguna aspect. And why are we doing the Pradakshina? And ultimately, what is the end and aim of it? The prayer Asatoma Sadgamaya, Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya, Mrityorma Mamrutam Gamaya. It talks to us in volumes when we go through it. Jaja, and what I should reach a state where I should be able to see you. Every day we are knowingly, consciously, suppose we repeat. The moment we come out and when we deal with men and matters, it will not be definitely under the same level of me and mine. It will be an effort to go slightly higher than the me and mine. Because everybody is his form, Jajya Stalihe Manajaya Maje. So now having diagnosed, some more may be there. Having diagnosed why we have not been progressing well, in spite of our close association for decades together, we can now start moving towards amending or correcting those steps to the extent possible. Because he is now prompting everything to us, pointing out everything to us. So definitely he will definitely guide us. He will help us to get over. The very fact that all these things have come up during the in-depth study itself shows that his guidance is there with us, and not to condemn ourselves, not to have self-pity on ourselves, but it is only to improve, That is the real, now we understand that is the real purpose of this in-depth study for this 1 year. And he gave us 1 year. We were wondering, what are we to do through 12 months? Normally a celebration comes on a particular day and after that everything will be over. But here he chose to prompt us, it will be a 1 year long sadhana. Swadhyaya sadhana. And not only that, now 150 days are over, after it is officially launched on 27th December. Today is June 1st, January, February, March, April, May, June, May, 5 months. On an average 150 days, excepting for a few days, probably we would have been meeting all of you. All of us would have been meeting and all of us would have been dwelling at least for 1 hour a day. And apart from that, because of Shraddha's labor of love, every week religiously, some exposure on the topics, on the chapters that are also brought out in the form of video every Sunday. Whether about 300 people are looking at it now on an average. But just think about it. All these things have been facilitated, And this In Quest of God, mainly in English and in different languages, have reached to more than 2,000 people, new people, apart from our devotees having. So all these things show that he is very much with us, guiding us, lending his hand. So now we will try to go through this diagnosis again and again and take up wherever we can make amends. Which are the areas where we can easily make some corrections. In order to make sure that this has been brought out in the way in which it should have been brought out, kindly tell us the 9 or 10 reasons, Need not necessarily be in the chronological order. Kindly share with us the probable reasons for our not progressing like Papa. Everyone can say one.
Sincerity is lacking in Asami.
Sincerity is lacking. Sincerity is lacking.
Sincerity is lacking. Okay. Vairagya has not developed. That means exclusive.
Me and mine part, not
me and mine.
Me and mine, domination. Yes, then.
Yes, only the desperate passion, the desperate urge is not there.
Urge is not urge.
Urge is not there.
Needed urge.
Needed urge. Inner pull, inner push. Okay.
Disturbances in our activities.
We not concentration. You are not able to concentrate because of various disturbances caused by him. We can blame him. We did not bring anything. Then.
lacking of strong decision.
Lacking of strong.
Firmness. Okay. Yes.
Priority.
We have not prioritized here, somebody says. We are not, though we would like, we have not prioritized unknowingly. Then, yes, come on. What did you say?
Swarajya Mama change apparently.
We are not constant remembrance of God, Swami.
We are not doing constant remembrance of God.
There are breaks more. Then.
One among the many instead of exclusively.
We are not exclusive.
Exclusive. Then.
Many times our prayer is for other pursuits than the actual.
Same prayer.
Prioritized. We are not prioritized.
We are giving more priority to worldly.
More importance for something else.
Consistency is not there.
Consistency is not there. Today we feel we should do something. Tomorrow when we go, somehow the dilution takes place. Consistency is not there. Yes.
Continuous effort is lacking.
Continuous effort.
But still, immediately spoke.
Continuous effort is lacking. So somehow we try to do, but somehow
Yes, correct. Then.
Swamiji, we want to have the cake and eat it too. We We want to have some spiritual development, but we also want to have our comforts and other life.
We want to
That's
have
also
spiritual development, but at the same time, we want other things also.
Along with other natural. Again, the priority has not come.
Yes. Unknowingly, we feel we know everything.
Somebody here says, unknowingly we feel we know everything.
Meditation, full meaning has not gone inside.
The intro, the inward journey aspect has not come to us at all, no? Whereas either it should be preceded to chanting or it should go along with chanting, no? In Papa's case, it preceded. First he meditated and then chanted. So in our case, we chanted straight away, okay, it's all right. But now there should be a conscious effort on our part. We may fail. Our mind is not still trained. So we may fail. But still, now we should know that the connectivity should be there. I'm calling you, in so many, suppose I attend half an hour Ramnam session or 3-4 sessions in Samadhi Mandir when I am in an ashram. So that means about 2 hours or 3 hours we may be spending. At that time, every Ramnam enables us to repeat 3 times his word. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. So how many times I would have repeated your word? But now I don't get connected with you. I should have been connected with you. At least now enable me to connect with you when I chant. My Guru gave me the mantra so that his words I forgot. He said, name is the link between us and God. This is the very word he used. Name is the link between us and God. I never made any effort to feel the link. Again, you caused that I should concentrate on the tune, the rhythm, the talam. It gave me some joy, and I was satisfied with that. One by one, suppose you take. Then,
Not free from lust, L-U-S-T,
Ah.
lust.
Not free from down pulling forces. Yeah, that is there.
Swamiji, I have trust, but total surrender is not taking place.
Surrender is not taking place. That's what we say. No, we will not accept. Suppose something happens, if I get sickness, if I do something, if I miss something, immediately I don't accept God's will. I don't accept. I have heard this many a times from Papa's words, Papa's writings, and I wanted to. That is the very purpose of my chanting and associating with Papa. Because the first Hari Shri, the first Hari Shri is submission to his will. It never came to our. We become upset. We don't submit. We don't accept. We don't take it as a test. Though we must have gone through the IQG for a number of times, that where Ram tested him. And we know that only through testing we can evaluate ourselves. So God is testing us. That aspect has never come to us. We always evaluate as something wrong or good, favorable, not favorable, ennobling or deplorable. Like that, we have our own norms, and then we stop there. Then,
Keep on postponing.
from tomorrow I will do. After tomorrow I will do.
Swamiji,
Ah.
Ram has given everything.
Mm.
We want Ram and also all, everything. We don't want to lose.
What Ram has given things, we are after that.
Yeah, correct. That is what we want. But we hardly try to understand that when we get Ram, everything will be given. He is the giver, he is the protector, when we get him everything. Mataji used to say that, you remember. Mataji used to give us left and right. Left and right she will give. Mercilessly she will, I will read that. Every now and then we have to read that. But from today onwards, we are trying to apply it in our life. It is not merely the ashram is a school. You have come here to learn universal love and service. What is the use of coming here year after year and staying here for months if you have not imbibed even the rudiments of universal love and service? What use is an ashram, mutt or mandir if the devotees who go there make no progress at all on the spiritual path? Does any school allow its children to simply come to the classes, sit for some time and go away without passing a single examination? How can you prepare yourself to appear for examinations when you have not even gone beyond A, B and C alphabets? You should not simply stand outside the gates of the mansion, shower compliments and praises on the Guru and then turn back without bothering to enter the gates and experience the bliss of Guru's eternal being. Inward journey, The main reason why you hesitate to enter the gates of the mansion is because the world outside is the world of I and mine. And you are scared that if you enter the gates and when your mind turns towards the Guru, you would lose the world you have been hugging as yours. You do not realize that far from losing your world, you actually gain the whole universe, which becomes yours when you realize infinite and eternal reality. A sadhaka should be continuously examining his actions to see for himself whether there is any tinge of selfishness in anything he does or says. He must always place others' happiness above his own. We cannot hope to make progress on the spiritual path at the cost of others' happiness. It does not matter if he has to at times sacrifice his own happiness. So whatever you do, think for yourself if your action will make those around you happy or miserable. If it will make them miserable, desist from doing such an action. For that the sadhaka should be in constant introspection over his thoughts, words and actions. So we only ask the things, We only ask for conducive atmosphere, favorable situations. But we never ask him. We have not been, this has not struck to us, not that we don't want to ask him. So today he chose to make us to diagnose and then after finding out the cause, not by reading or hearing, by intensely going through the reasons one by one, and then try to initiate our own corrective measures. Probably in all we may not be doing it, at least in one. Those who are in ashram, they will be able to apply more on mind on everything that is there in the routine. Right from Vishnu Sahasranama, why did Mataji introduce solo Ram Nam? Why did Mataji introduce Guru Stuti? Why did Mataji introduce chorus Ram Nam? Then flower offering, then Hare Rama, then bhajans, then 45 minutes Ram Nam, then Arati, universal prayer, and then Arati, and then Dhanya Dhanya Ho, then finally ending. So those who are in ashram, they can now start applying their mind on all this. And when they go to Ramnam session, please connect me to you. That is the purpose for which, I am chanting. I was not aware. So somebody said, the urge is not there. Because he is there in us, all that we have to do is to clear something, it is damp now, it has to be made dry now, that's all. Then it will immediately catch the fire. So anything and those who are not in ashram, they can try in whatever way it is possible. Probably they have more facilities to link it with daily life. Whether at home or in the office or with our friends. There are umpteen number of opportunities are also given by him. So we will now, when we go through that acceptance, when we go through that during our past moments, we must be able to chant Ram Nam. And at that time, connecting. So the take-home message is today all of us will intently diagnose, We have made some diagnosis. Somebody finding the diagnosis, okay. But we have to diagnose ourselves. That's what now you have been sharing. So now let us try to do some corrective steps. That is why in this particular year, we have still more 7 months or 6 months. So by the time we reach the 27th December 2022, we are praying to him, you please try to correct us, try to make us to prioritize connecting yourself with you. Somehow you kindly bring it to me. By myself I cannot, I want to, I cannot, because other things are also there in my mind. Ananya Bhakti has not been developed exclusive. I have not been able to, though you said many a time that outer activity should be compatible with inner aspiration, I have hardly given any importance for that. So kindly enable me to do that. So today we are trying to go through the reasons. Tomorrow we will try to find some corrective steps, on each of these 9. So these 9 again we will repeat. First to that, people who have been closely associating with ashram and had the privilege of having the satsang with Puja Mataji. Mataji always uses the word Papa. Mataji has never uses the word Ram. So when we read this, we don't feel the connectivity. Because to us, whatever said and done, Papa is that charming form. And we know, when every day in our prayer we say, oh beginningless and endless Param Puja Papa, you are all pervading. Mataji has what, we cannot blame Mataji, but we never applied our mind. Because this form had a beginning and an end. Before 1884, this form was not there. After 1963, the form is not there. So how can we address, oh beginningless and endless Param Puja Papa? So Mataji was referring to the Nirguna aspect through the Saguna aspect. That's all. This form is also a form of Ram, but unless we connect with the Nirguna aspect, we will not be able to understand. That is the mistake. So then another one was, we did not apply seriously what this Papa or when she said Papa or Ram, what does it mean? We were reading, hearing, that's all. And we started our journey. Everything we started looking at the photo, and we will, after some time, we will repeat the word Papa. But ultimately, we did not start any journey towards him because we have not started from where he started. If we had started from where he started, some self-denial, some prioritization, some commitment, all these things would have come in some form. And then exclusive, okay. The down-pulling vasanas are there, Our preoccupations with so many other things. Suppose you have to support a family, we have to earn, we have to go there, and in that field of there will be a lot of challenges. And there will be some most trying periods in our family life. And in our field of profession also highly competitive. So there always tension, always where do we think about the indwelling all and all pervading reality? Along with that, our down pulling vasanas. Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Madha, Matsarya. Then I take up this, just like, when we want to understand the meaning of a particular word, we go to the dictionary. Similarly, we take up this IQG as a manual or a dictionary. So right from day one, ever since he was fired with this idea, all these things had been there. Self-denial, firm resolve, vows, commitment, exclusiveness, and then we have not made any attempt to connect Ram with our chanting. Surrender aspect, we have not applied our mind. Though we say, I surrender myself entirely to you, if that is there, as Eckhart Tolle used to say, real surrender means we will not say why this has happened. If we can reach that stage, that means surrender has taken place. Oh, that's all. That will be there. Then even the labeled spiritual practices, we were using it or doing it only for our mundane problems. It is okay. Initially it will be like that only. But later on we should be able to step up, upgrade ourselves. And then the me and mind, as whether we are doing it from the same level or are we in a position to raise ourselves to a little higher level. So that, universal, the word Papa is universal, as that has never gone deep into ours. Though we repeat 100 times, universal love and service, universal love and service. That means expansion, From me to we means expansion. That expansion is possible only when we deal with men and matters from a little higher level than our present level. And the need to go within in inward journey. Milanyagadi Prabhuji, dive deep within. Papa has written a poem of 511.
Swamiji, Pranam Swamiji. I have one doubt from you.
Tell me.
now that I'm not physically well to do my household chores.
Physically well.
Physically well.
So then I definitely take care and see and pray to Papa that I should be all right because there is no one else to run the household thing. Then is it a wrong thing? Is it not?
It is not a wrong thing. It is not a wrong thing. We can definitely pray for good.
I have taken medicines, I go to doctor, all these steps I take. I will not let it lie down. Okay, Papa, you have given me this state, so I will do it. I just lie down and take the thing as it comes. I will take the necessary precautions and preventive measures. But then, does it break that spiritual progress?
No, certainly not. The only thing is we should know that he is prompting us to do, that's all. When you get a physical ailment, he makes you to feel the physical ailment. Then he makes you to think about some medical medicine steps. Then through a doctor, he prescribes the medicine. Then he provides through the manufacturer the required medicine. So the only thing is we should bring that dimension there. That is spiritual. It is not that spiritual is separate and our vyavahara is separate. It can't be. The vyavahara is also originated from spiritual only. So we by our this thing, whenever we are in trouble, when we pray to him, you are making me to pray. Why don't you keep me in good health so that I will be able to honestly pray to you? Because whenever I want to pray, my physical ailments prevents me from concentrating on it. Like that, still you are connected with him. So you are doing anything externally, that fact that also should be attributed to him. Initially, it may be an auto exercise. It may not be very deep, but doesn't matter. We keep on telling this. You made me to do this. You made me to do this. You made me to do this. Because that is the truth also. It is not an untruth. We have not realized that's all.
Yes, Swamiji. Yeah. In this condition, we cannot just say that I want realization.
Need not. What is realization? What is realization? Realization is that at this moment, it is he who is making us to say, making us to hear, making us to feel that we are. That is called realization. It is not something else. Now and here. Instead of the sense of individuality arrogating or feeling that I am doing this, I am doing that, suppose everything becomes passive voice. I am made to think, I am made to cry, I am made to laugh, I am made to gain, I am made to lose. When that comes, that is realization. Handing over everything lock, stock and barrel to him.
I won't be going astray from so I won't be going astray from the...
No, certainly not. This is the test also he is giving us. But even during the test, you are trying to remember him. Initially, we may not remember him. If the pain is too much, then immediately, he prompts us to go in for some painkiller. And the moment it is slowly, suppose I meet with an accident, I get fractured, the pain will be too much. So at that time, I will request for a painkiller. And when the painkiller has definitely given me some relief, then I can have the connection. You made me to pass through a very severe one, unbearable. It is like that, Somehow you let us maintain our connection with him.
So thinking constantly?
Constantly, that is. Correct.
As if I am talking to Papa.
As if you are talking to Papa only, but knowingly you are talking. And Papa again, Papa the word.
It is a link, isn't it? Then it is a link, isn't it?
Pardon?
Then it is a link.
Link, yeah. But again the word you are using Papa, We should have clarity on the word Papa. Ram and Papa are one, That we must know that. Mataji started using, and we started using Mataji's words, that's all. Mataji realized that the Nirguna Nirakara Tattva is expressing through the Saguna Sagara Rupa So whenever she was making a mention, and she made it clear also, the Nirguna Nirakar, very important. But we did not give importance. So we should now keep on tutoring, because IQG you will only hear the word Ram. So there should be the Ram and Papa are synonyms. We should know that. It is not different, it is not different, it is not different.
But Swamiji, I cannot remember Ram. I can't remember Ram. I can remember only Papa or Mataji.
But we should know.
I cannot remember the word Ram.
No, we have taken up this in-depth study of IQG, you know, where only Ram comes, you know. So if we have to really make use of the opportunity provided to us by God, whom we call as Ram or God, Papa, we should know why it is used, you know. Then we go to Mataji, because it was Mataji who said the word Papa to us. That is why we read out that portion, you know. How Mataji started using the word Papa in the place of Ram. That when we hear about that, we slowly, mentally, we need not change. But we should know that Ram and Papa are one and the same. That we have to keep on. Otherwise, we may not be able to really take the advantage of IQG in-depth study. Because in every chapter he uses the word Ram. So Ram should be there. We should know Ram and Papa are one. And Papa, when we say, he is the birthless, deathless, when he says, he is the Nirguna Nirakara Tattva. When Mataji said, and when we started obeying, we should also hear Mataji what she told about Papa, you know. We cannot ignore those words and take only some words. So she has clearly mentioned that Papa stands for the Nirguna Nirakara Tattvam. We must apply our mind. Mind may refuse to accept, but we have to keep on tutoring it. This is what Mataji said. This is what Mataji said.
Yes, Swamiji.
Okay. Pranam.
Swamiji, recently I came across two situations. In one situation, a mechanic was working in my house, and earlier I used to pray to the God to give him competence to repair the things.
Repair the
things.
Now I start praying, saying that this is Ram doing this, Ram is repairing Ram. And earlier I used to pray for the mechanic also, that he's a very good man, be good to him. Oh, what shall I do now? I met some people yesterday who were very kind to me. So I started in my mind, earlier I used to pray for them. I used to pray to God that to give them good life because they have been very kind to me. But now I think that they are Ram is doing this. Ram has taken that. So how can I express my gratitude to them?
By loving and trying to do whatever is possible. Keep on thinking. This is a good attempt. Very good attempt. We may not vocally express it, but deep within our heart, if we can develop this attitude, it will help a long way, no doubt about it. Passive voice.
Earlier I used to pray for their health and for their welfare and everything. Now I say that what prayer is also Ram. It is Ram.
What prayer I should do? He is also Ram.
Correct.
For whom I should pray?
What should I wish for them? Earlier I used to wish something good for them because they were doing good to me.
But at the same time, we should know we will not be reveling on the same level throughout our waking time. When we have come down to the individual level, we have to come down at the body level. At that time, we have to react in the same way. We should be doing good to others. We should be praying for the welfare of others. Nothing wrong. Because these two levels, Mataji in one of her most outspoken, blunt statement, when she's told about the what will be the attitude of a evolved soul and an ordinary man? He said, when, for all practical purposes, when they come down to the individual level, they will be reacting exactly like what others do. But when they are in the static level, everything is calm, quiet, everything is okay. But when they come down to the dynamic level, it need not. So that aspect also we should bear in mind. Mentally, we cannot straight away jump into the state where we are one with the static aspect. We have to definitely come down to the dynamic level, Now it's a dynamic level. You are telling, we are telling, all these things are at the dynamic level. So that is also very important. Whatever is to be done, it has to be done. So being kind, being good, being compassionate, all those things should be there. I will just read Mataji, although in my Akhanda Swarup I have the sense of perfect equality, kindness, love, samadrishti towards all, it is not possible to reject the sense of differentiation in the dualistic plane of good and evil. So when I come down, let us analyze the situation. So when we come down to the lower level, that means the present level, the other one is the higher level, there whatever is to be done, it has to be done because there will be differentiation.
At one level, everybody is Ram. At another level, I am praying to Ram for their welfare.
Nothing wrong.
And sorry, I wanted to ask one more question. Yesterday you were talking about the beach of the seed.
Pardon?
Seed.
So, as you say that if we think backwards, I had my parents had their parents, and like this, there must have been a seed. So the seed, once if you have seed of paddy, it will be paddy. If you have seed of wheat, it will be wheat. So that means there were so many seeds. Like I am from one seed, another person is from another seed, a dog is from another seed, a cat is from another seed, trees are from another seed. There were so many seeds to begin with, or was there only one seed?
But all seeds have come from one. That is why, we where do we get the answer? We get the answer only from Bhagavad Gita. I am the generating seed of all living beings. No creature, moving or non-moving, can exist without me. Know that I am the eternal seed of all beings. I am the supreme goal of all living beings. I am also the sustainer, master. I am the eternal seed. My womb is the real Brahman. In it I place the seed. It may be different seeds. It is there. Whether it is a single seed or a different seed, that we will come later. But first of all, let us agree that the seed giver is one. Bijam mam sarva bhutanam. Then only we will be able to understand our origin. We all belong to Him. We have forgotten. By these exercises, we want to become Him. So the whole thing lies on our plumbing deep within to know our own source. That is why Papa said, your purpose is to know your and the world origin. It's already 5:10. So let us do again some more, and then weave in all these with our day-to-day life. Let it not become a 1 hour exercise and then leave it. No, please. All these diagnoses, today he prompted us to diagnose over the reason. So we are trying, we have tried, with his help, we were able to point out to ourselves. Again we go through that, and then initiate the corrective steps. Probably in stages, in different paces. Anyway, we are deeply grateful to him for having taken us thus far, and then he will take us forward, provided we show our inclination. All these 5 months you just sat observing, we were all associated with ashram, how much important, we never knew that it contains everything. The purpose for which we have been drawn towards him, that will be made known to us when we make an in-depth study. Then he facilitated one by one, and these 5 months, he has enabled us to travel with him. And today, very important, yesterday and today, he took us to the core. Let us have that frame of mind. I should move towards him, I should move towards him, I should move towards him. With that, I don't mean I am going away. All fields are his. Family is his, professional field is his, so social field is his. I am only to know that he is behind me, he is behind me. Without him, I don't exist. With him only I exist. These things, so that no question of leaving anything, no question of abandoning anything, no question of changing anything by ourselves. If it has to come by his will, he will do the rest of the things. Hari Om, Hari Om. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. 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 Shri Ram.